Hey guys! What's up? Alpha Lion Simba here, and welcome to another episode of Magnificent and Mythological. It's time for me once again to dive into African mythology, but let me tell you, this creature is no cute little kitten. I'm talking about a creature that's both legendary and a cryptid, and that is the Mngwa. So, let's begin. The Mngwa, also known as the Nunda, is a large gray cat cryptid that is said to live in East Africa. The name Mngwa means strange one in Swahili, while Nunda means fierce animal, cruel man, or something heavy. It's reported to have lived in Tanzania's coastal forests and is described as a large, gray, man-eating cat with brindled stripes. Legend has it that the Mngwa is stronger than a lion and deadlier than a leopard. The Mngwa is said to be as big as the biggest of lions, with grayish fur and brindled, tabby-like stripes and markings. It is readily distinguished from the lion and the leopard by locals, and its tracks are said to resemble a leopard's but are the size of a lion's. According to some eyewitnesses, it purrs instead of roars. According to the legend, the Mngwa is a man-eater that usually hunts at night. The bodies of the cat's victims show wounds made by razor-sharp claws and huge teeth. If real, Mngwa would be so ferocious that it could kill a person with a single bite or swipe of its paws. A series of alleged Mngwa attacks occurred in the village of Lindi, Tanganyika in 1922 when Captain William Hitchens was native magistrate. He recounts the following. It was the custom for native traders to leave their belongings in the village market every night, ready for the morning's trade, and to prevent theft and also stop stray natives sleeping in the marketplace. An askari, or native constable, took it in turns with two others to guard the market on a 4-hour watch. Going to relieve the midnight watch, an oncoming native constable one night found his comrade missing. After a search, he discovered him, terribly mutilated, underneath a stall. The man ran to his European officer, who went with me at once to the market. We found it obvious that the askari had been attacked and killed by some animal. A lion, it seemed. In the victim's hand was a clench of matted mass of grayish hair, such as would come out of a lion's mane, where it grasped and torn in a violent fight. But in many years, no lion had been known to come to the town. Hitchens was puzzling over the problem the next morning when the Arab governor of the district arrived, with two scared-looking men at his heels. The men claimed, "Out late the previous night," they said. They had slunk by the marketplace lest the askari should see them and think them evildoers, and as they crept by they were horrified to see a gigantic brindled cat, the great mysterious Nunda, which is feared by every village on the coast, leap from the shadows of the market and bear the policeman to the ground. The old Arab governor assured Hitchens that the Mngwa, which he described, had visited Lindi several times in his memory. That night, Hitchens kept watch with two armed askaris at the market, but nothing happened, so at the next day's parade, he read the natives' constables a lecture on the stupidity of superstitions. However, that night, another constable was killed, and he too, clutched in his hands and scattered about the buckles of his uniforms, was more of that gray, matted fur. Whilst the terrified villagers paid a medicine man to scare off the Mngwa, Hitchens sent the fur off for expert examination, but the only reply he received was that it was probably cat. Several more attacks occurred at other small coastal villages over the following month, and a huge number of people arrived at Lindi to inform Hitchens that A huge, gray-striped animal like a cat, but as big as a donkey, was seizing men by night. Although traps and poison were set and armed police were posted around the district, the animal was never caught, and eventually the attacks ended as suddenly as they began. During the 1930s, another series of alleged Mngwa killings occurred in Hitchens district. One survivor of a Mngwa attack, an old and skilled native hunter, was brought to Hitchens at Mngwa. He says, "Not long ago, a man was brought to me at Mngwa on a litter and terribly mauled by some great beast. He said it was a Mngwa, and as he himself was a brave and skillful native hunter who had often tracked down lions, leopards, and other killers with me and other white men, why should we suppose that in this case he mistook a lion or a leopard or for some other beast? He had nothing to gain by telling me lies. On the contrary, as a hunter, he depended for his livelihood on being absolutely truthful and trustworthy. And to this day, no hunting party, native or European or American, has ever successfully brought down a Mngwa." Investigators at the time of the Mngwa's killings ruled out lions and leopards as suspects on account of the Mngwa's tracks, hair, and size. However, Carl Schuker suggests that the Mngwa could conceivably have been a very large, aberrantly patterned leopard, explaining why its footprints resembled those of a gigantic leopard. Bernard Heuvelmans argued against this possibility, writing that it was difficult to imagine how even a genetic abnormality could turn the plain coat of a lion or the spotted coat of a leopard into the brindle gray coat of the Mngwa. Bernard Heuvelmans theorized that the Mngwa could have been an undiscovered giant species of the African golden cat. Although a normal golden cat only measures up to 4 feet 5 inches in length, they display a wide variety of coat colors and patterns. And according to Mel and Fiona Sunkist, at around the same time that the Mngwa was carrying out its attacks, societies of witch doctors known as Majobo, or lion men, in Tanganyika's Singida area ran a lucrative extortion business in the early 20th century by threatening to turn themselves into lions and kill people who could not pay them. Many people were murdered by young men dressed as lions, wearing lion paws as gloves on their hands and feet. Carl Schuker speculates that the killings which occurred during Hitchens' tenure could also have been the work of the Majobo, who could have faked the tracks, placed clumps of gray fur from any animal on the hands of their victims. Schuker feels that this is the most plausible theory regarding the killings. Well, that was it. My magnificent and mythological episode on the Mngwa. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked it. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Leave requests in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Alpha Lion Simba, out.